On this episode of Porter Brooks Cooks, I am still exploring kind of my Southern roots, a generation or two away, and some of my absolute favorites. Today, I am making pimento cheese, and you have to be from the South to know what pimento cheese is. It is these wonderful diced pimentos, and they come in these small jars. I like to start with a shredded extra sharp, right? I've done that for you in the processor. I've got that laid out. I've got my chopper in there. If you're going to buy store-bought in the bag, it doesn't melt well, and that's because the cheese shreds are actually coated, and I'll just call it a dust, and that's so that they don't stick together. That changes things when you're melting. Not so much the flavor, but if you can just get a block of cheese and grate it, that's really the best way to go. So I have that done. And the pimentos are going to go last. So this is one of those situations where, by the way, you can start with cubed cheddar as well and just start grinding it up into chunks. So it's your basic grandmother's cheese ball recipe. All right, so what do we have here? We have 8 ounces of cream cheese. I forgot to take it out, so it's not softened, but we're going to put them in there. By the way, I'll put links to these. This is my line of these beautiful olive wood spreaders, tools, things like that. So I'm going to do half. I always hold back ingredients because, well, I'm not that specific on measurements and what have you. So I hold back to kind of work it. Okay, so we have some cream cheese in there. I'm going to now do a couple big heaping whatevers of the yogurt. By the way, yogurt always comes at the top, and then there's this piece of paper in here. No, don't eat that, kiddos. You see that? Into the trash. And I'm going to say like that is about a 1/4 cup. Let's go ahead and make that a full half. You're also, the thing about the Greek yogurt is you get a tang to it, which I kind of like when it's added here. Mayonnaise, I'm going to do just about a 1/2 cup. The old rule that I remember was just a half. Okay, so 1/2 cup of the cream cheese, 1/2 cup of the mayo, 1/2 cup of the help me out, guys, cream cheese, and you can do 1, and 1 if you're making it for a lot more people. So I like to make extra, and I like to keep it in crocks. Like this. I'll put a link to these. They wash beautifully. They stay forever. And by the way, as a Hostess gift, it's completely cool because it's just super, super sexy. All right, mayo out. Oh, you can also do pickles. I had my, I made my homemade. By the way, when you're doing your pickles, turn them over every 3 days, right? Because that's where all the spices come through. So I made my homemade pickles recently. Although it's sacrilege, I do like to have them. From time to time. All right, we're gonna put our Greek yogurt aside. More to come. We have our cream cheese. More to come. It looks like maybe 2 ounces left there. We have our processor, and I'm gonna just start with the flavorings. All right, so this has some kick, and I like some kick. And of course, there are 1,000. Hot pepper sauces, but you got to start with, right, and not the green, so maybe about 4 or 5 shakes of that. You're gonna, I love cream cheese. You're gonna finish to taste. Yes, I'm sorry, but your favorite seasoned salt, it's just one of the flavors. That's all there is to it. Okay, so we're gonna, I'd say about a teaspoon. I don't have a place to put my... Now, I like the kick. We could measure the kick, but I start with it. Not too much. I'm going to go with literally 1. Oh, that was a big shake, guys. I hope you can see that in there. Yeah. 1 shake of cayenne. Some people say a pinch. All right, this is gonna be good. But it'd be great with like a mint julep or something, bourbon. Nope, wrong recipe. That was Italian seasoning. Do love this. And I love their commercials if you haven't seen them. So the other one is really good is Louisiana Crystal. You can find some Latin pure pepper sauces, but that's not the flavor we're after here. We are just after a basic pepper sauce, and I do like a little bit of this heat. So there's plenty of salt in all these things. So, we're going to start with that. Oh, I should tell you that I'm reserving some of my large chunks because today I'm working with shredded. I should have started with cubed, and I'm going to put those in at the very last second because I don't want this creamed out. I do want it a little chunky. All right, so let's get what we're doing here. Yes, in my immaculately clean hands. Julia Child said, oh, okay, that's already where we want it. Now this processor is, it's a lot. I have smaller ones, but it's going to get it done. All right, you're going to just pulse it. It's quiet, which is good for television. So what I'm trying to do, and I could have helped myself by chunking up the cream cheese a little bit better, or a little bit softer, but we're on the fly today. There we go. I guess I can be sideways. Story of my life. All right, that's looking good. We're going to pop that. So you see we have a few things. Rubber spatula is good, but I tend to be like a 3-knife guy and probably like a 2 or 3 spoon guy, honestly. A chef knife, a carve, and you can see all the water spots. I have to fill the water thing in the, there's another one, in the dishwasher. All right, so we're gonna go back to pulse a little again. And now I'm gonna need that. I like usually a little more cheese. Oh my God, that's it. All right, half a. Now, we're here. So we can stir in the pimentos, but I want to point out that the pimentos have a lot of brine, I guess is what it is. So the first one I'm going to put in, but what's going to happen is I don't want this to become too runny. That's not the point, but there's a ton of flavor in this. So let's just start with our pimentos. And when I say we could do all this by hand, by the way. You can chop up the cheese. What I don't want, I want to see these pimentos. By the way, I'll put the link to my pimento cheese and bacon hamburger. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. We're gonna make some homemade hamburger today or tomorrow, by the way. All right, so I just want to get that in again. So that's turning just a little red for me. That's it. I do not want to overdo this. Probably going to just go by hand from here on out. I like a lot of pimentos. The consistency's there, so be really careful. I could be using a fork, but it's just you and me today, right? Oh my gosh, you guys. You know, my whole life has been about TV and entertaining, and I got to tell you, I look for the shortcuts. And you know what I find out? The good friends, they don't care. All right, this is good. Now get ready. I am going to do the most sacrilegious thing. I have more pimentos that's ever done. I'm going to put pimento green olives, like martini olives, in my pimento cheese. So I have to tell you this funny story. Oh, yes, I know I eat a whole dinner before it even happens. I don't know if you guys can see me on the board here. Let me move this out of the way. Kind of get you up there a little bit. There we go. Okay, so you want to you can do large, you can do small. Buy what's on sale. All we need is a little martini. Okay, so I'm going to roughly chop these. The reason why I'm going to do that ahead of time is they would be absolute pulp in the food processor. So I'm just going to chop these up just a little bit. All right, so here's the story, right? I have these friends. I know them fairly well. They're not good friends. They're acquaintances. They were. And we spent some time at the beach together, and they're very good friends of other friends. So anyways, I had posted this. I'd actually made this during the pandemic and posted a whole new version of it. And, of course, I had some pimento green olives, and so I put it in there. And this set of friends are from the deep South. And I think the post went something like this. No true Southerner would ever put an olive in their pimento cheese. And then they unfriended me. Like, what's up with that? Like, I love to get input from you all. And that's what the comments are there for. Let me know. Let me know your version. But Listen, it's cheese dip, right? Do we have to be that crazy about it? All right, we're gonna do a quick turn on this, and then I'm gonna go to a, you don't need to do this one. That's it. All right. I love food processors, but I don't love cleaning them. Do you feel the same way? Okay, now, a few more pimentos, only with a hand stir. I do not want these to break up. Actually, quite a bit more. And now I'm just going to pull my blade. That's the other thing. Love them, but I wish somebody could invent a way that the blade cleans itself. Honestly, I've been around people who do all of this by hand. Sometimes they'll use a mashed potato press, is it? Or a masher. I guess it's called a potato masher. I've seen it done with a pastry cutter. I've seen it done with, there you are, a mezzaluna. Those are those things where you go like that. So do whatever you want. But anyways, we're here. I'm going to do a quick taste test. Oh, I love the texture of that. I love biting into that salty, beautiful green olive. Okay, going to my Crocs. I like the low ones. I'll put the link to these again. I reuse them all the time. Only, I always say to my friends, and then they get them in like a butter dish after I give them one nice one. I always say, I need the jars back. They're not cheap, but knowing that you can reuse them all the time, I don't know, they're probably like $1.50 each. I'll put a link there. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Do I have you? Do you have me? All right. We are gonna put our canny funnel in there, and this is how I love to pack it. I really do use these funnels all the time. The set is so inexpensive, and we're going to kind of shake that down there. So what this is doing is we're avoiding, just getting it messy, and I'm going to give the jar, you see how professional that looks? I do want to get some of the air out. All right, I'm getting close to the end here, and let me show you this little trick. So this is about as much as I'm going to get in there. I don't want to hit the rubber seals, and I'm going to kind of do it like that. I'm just going to drop it in there. That's the first one. I'm going to show you a couple different ways I like to serve this. Well, there you go. Defeated the purpose, but got it done. All right, we're going to knock that down. Now, I have taught you for years that you always want to put on top of something what's inside. It's a fantastic cue for whoever's receiving it. And I have some extra pimentos on my board, so I'm going to grab them. I'm going to put them there. And to really make my southern friends mad, I'm going to actually cut one of our green olives in half. Hey there, look at that. And just always do things in odd numbers, guys. Never, it was never in evens, okay? Look how much better that looks. It looks simple but intentional. And then we are gonna seal this up. There we go. My southern pimento cheese, almost forgot what I was cooking for you, ready to go. I'm gonna serve it with crackers, bread slices. Gosh, I think there's 1,000 different things, but you want something strong and crunchy. It can go in the refrigerator now, but because everything was cool when it went in, it can also go right out. So I will pop it in the refrigerator. Let me show you a couple extra tricks, all right? So that was our smooth. Now, back here, I am going to take that reserved full shredded cheese chunks, and I'm just gonna mix them in. This now has a more sturdy texture, and it's kind of chunky, and I like that. All right, so I'm gonna show you a couple different options. If you wanna be super fancy, like with a cocktail party, get a set of these. Get a set of ramekins. They come in all different sizes, and I got this at one of those kind of aftermarket stores that are in the big outdoor malls. This whole set was $4.99. You gotta check regularly, but nothing is sexier than handing everybody their own individual little thing, or set it on the side of a plate. I told you about the pimento cheese burger. The other thing is the grilled pimento cheese. So we do a standard grilled cheese, right? But with the pimento cheese inside, and a slice of tomato. That doesn't say salt. I don't know what is. So we can do it there, but because I don't want to go through all the work today, I'm going to use a covered casserole, and I'm just going to actually pack all this stuff in here. You can also bake this. So it has a lot of applications, and again, I usually keep a couple of these in the fridge. Horrible to reach your hand in there and snack, but it's really good. And you can see I still have a lot more, so I don't really have time to get to that today. We'll drop that. Make sure that we're clean here. All right, and again, what are we going to do? We are going to repeat the flavor. Grab yourself a couple of the pimentos. I guess I should clean that off, right, guys? Grab yourself a couple of the pimentos. Where are you? There you are. And where's my other green olive slice? There it is. All right, how beautiful is that? So this is for a larger group, a little bit simpler to access. Okay, so for now, I'm going to cover it. If I wanted to bake this, I could. There is my pimento cheese. Ba-bum. I have it two ways. If you can't say Southern with this, I don't know what is. I'm Porter Brooks. Heck, maybe we'll do some more recipes from the South. But I'm set now for pimento cheese. I'm going to teach you my pickles. Oh my gosh, they're spicy, they're garlicky. There's nothing bread and butter about them, except that they're ready in 2 days. Yeah, that's it, okay? So if you like this, then please like right down there. It helps me out a lot. And if you want to see more of what I'm doing, it helps me out if you subscribe. And if you share it, well, that makes life a lot easier. So I'm Porter Brooks. This is Porter Brooks Cooks. I hope you've enjoyed it. And you can follow me at the Porter Brooks. It's all about that today, right? New recipes, great content, links to my website, IGs, all of those different things. I'm there. There are the buttons. Bye, guys.